Hello, and welcome to the Wastelands, where everyone's a little mad, and madness can induce a little change. Change that is currently happening in the Wastelands. As you can see, I took some liberties with the layout that I was previously using because, to my dismay, it covered up a lot more than I had originally intended. Despite the fact that I tried to go for a minimal layout in order to make as much of the screen visible, I realized I had other options, and I started to kind of dislike the fact that there was still so much hidden. So for the near future, I'm going to keep it as simple as this, just move the webcam so that most of my screen assets are available. And as time goes along, maybe I'll introduce some more changes in the wasteland to see if there's no better solutions. But for now, what you see is what you get. So without much further ado, let us continue learning how to be an inquisitor. So I should probably start by talking to everyone and getting to know them. Well, probably it contains that stronghold. Exactly. So that is probably the first thing that I'm going to do. Well, that and make sure I don't have anything new. Yeah, okay, I had all of these. That isn't, I've had that. I've had those three. Rebel Mages, Kunari, and those two I had. Okay. Just making sure that I've actually read everything. Yeah, maps. Places. Okay.
What may I do for you?
Anything to report?
What do the people make of us?
Despite our fame, we're low on steadfast allies. We must aim for more.
How are our guests?
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
Sir Griffith of Denerim, a most distinguished knight of the realm. He's defeated darkspawn, slain demons, chased down abominations. Just don't ask him about it over dinner. He spares no detail.
So apparently the hair is a bit finicky because he has a hairstyle I didn't give to him. Oh, wait. I think I know what's going on. So give me just a moment before I continue. Because I think I did something stupid. Which, to be fair, we are talking about me. It's not all that surprising. The one thing that I'm still not used to when playing this game is starting it up in the correct method. I did it right the first day, and now I've already messed it up. So, like I said, let's just continue. After a bit of a slow startup. Yes, there we go.
What may I do for you?
Anything to report?
What do the people make of us?
Despite our fame, we're low on steadfast allies. We must aim for more.
How are our guests?
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
None in particular. Our guests are well pleased with what they've seen.
The children of Andraste. There are many misconceptions regarding Andraste's bloodline, Monseigneur. This is due, I should think, to a general lack of knowledge regarding Andraste's mortal life. Understandable, considering the many cults that arose following her death. Everyone sought to claim Our Lady for their own culture or claimed some aspect of her existence was a lie, all of them complete fabrications. My order has done considerable research to ascertain the truth. We all know that Andraste and the betrayer raised 5 children. The eldest 3 were sons, Isorat, Evrion, and Verald. The rule of what was once Southern Tevinter was split among them. Isorat was given the west, what is today Orlais. Evrion was given the east, what is today the Free Marches. Verald was given the central Planecine, what is today Navarra. What became of these men and their legacies is the stuff of legend, and the majority of claimants to Andraste's bloodline link back to one of them. None of the 3 sons, however, were born of Andraste. They were born of the betrayer's concubine, Gillivan. People choose to overlook the fact that Andraste came from the Alamari tribesmen, and that they were barbarians, not the Feraldans we know today. They were savage warriors who took concubines in addition to their wives, and because Andraste was thought to be too weak to bear children, the betrayer took Gillivan to provide him heirs, which she did. After her death, her sons were raised as Andraste's own. Later in life, Andraste proved predictions wrong and had 2 daughters by the betrayer, Ibris and Vivial. They were kept out of the public eye and not permitted to marry, though both had consorts. Ibris had but 1 child, Ali Vemar, who perished on a voyage to Denerim, less than a month after her mother fell to plague. And without children of her own, the younger daughter, Vivial, was more controversial, a strong-headed woman who defied her family by falling in love with a mage of Tevinter, Regulan. Vivial and Regulan went into self-imposed exile as the exalted marches began, and into hiding following Andraste's betrayal and murder. What became of Vivial and her descendants is largely unknown for one primary reason. She had only daughters. Each of those daughters only had daughters. They married into other families and took other names. And in the chaos of the Second Blight, all traces of survivors were lost. Andraste's true bloodline, if it exists, lies solely in the descendants of Vivial, and the suspicion of my order is that it produces only daughters. Thus the claims of your young men, Monsieur, are highly suspect. From a letter by Sister Galena of the Augustan Order, Dragon 912. Okay. So I got another codex. Oh, accessories. Oh, one is for Varric. I do have Varric. So he has an ability point. Does that mean I can level him? Oh, yeah, I can level him. Ooh, that seems pretty handy. I might go for explosive shot though.
If you find anything, please bring it in. You're the Herald. Or, well, the one they're calling the Herald, anyway. It's odd to see them accepting a mage as their hero. It must be easier because you're not human. They already see you as different from those of us who lived in circles. My name is Maeve. I research demons and other creatures. Seeker Pentagast and I use what I find to help the soldiers fight them.
Huh, interesting. So, you're a mage.
You said you were a mage?
No, just an apprentice. Circle mages must prove themselves in a ritual called the Harrowing. I was never very good at magic. I've got just enough talent to be a danger to other people. But when the mages rebelled, people like me had nowhere to go. The Templars would have killed us. Luckily, Seeker Pentagast took me in, along with the Tranquil I was protecting.
You research creatures.
You said Cassandra has you researching creatures.
Yes. If you find anything interesting in your travels, I'd appreciate you bringing it to me. I may be able to find some weakness our soldiers can exploit when fighting various creatures.
That is going to be
At
interesting.
least, some materials are useful for making potions or gear for the Inquisition.
Alright. You didn't join the rebels.
I'm surprised that even an apprentice mage wouldn't join the rebellion.
I don't like using magic to fight. I'm not good at it either. I liked studying. I liked performing rituals that helped us unlock the secrets of the Veil. I liked having the Templars around to keep us safe.
What would Dark say to this? I like having the Templars around to keep us safe. In Dark's eyes, the whole system of Templars and circles wasn't perfect. It was a good means to an end, but it needed to be improved upon. How it is now isn't good. He doesn't think it's good. But to go back the way it was would only perpetuate the problem that was installed then. So now it needs to change. But now they've gone mad.
A pity the Templars now want to see us all dead or made tranquil.
The problem is not that there are angry people on both sides. The problem is other people listening to their anger.
Yeah,
I
that
was
is
born
actually a
into
good
Dalish
point.
clan. I lived there until my magic manifested. The Dalish cannot risk having too many mages in one clan. And I was one more than they could bear. They gave me a pack and sent me into the woods to find my own life. I was 7 years old.
That explains a lot.
No wonder you'd rather stay in the circle. You had more than enough life outdoors.
I stumbled into a village, starving and cold a few weeks later. I started using magic to scare predators away. The villagers saw me make fire in my fist. They were terrified and wanted to kill me. Templars saved me from them. They gave me food and clothes and took me to the circle. I've seen what life is like without the Templars, and I want no part of it. I just want to study.
You protected the Tranquil.
You said that you were keeping some of the Tranquil safe?
Yes. The mages took some of them when my circle rebelled, but the rest were forgotten.
Most circle mages look down on the Tranquil, or try to pretend they don't exist. They don't have any emotions. They can barely take care of themselves, can't defend themselves at all. It's a shame. I like them better than most people.
They're lucky to have you.
I'm glad they have someone who cares about them.
They deserve better. They're polite, they're rational, and they'll never get angry at you. When they study, they have a focus no normal person could ever match. But the Templars, even some of the mages, mistreated them just because they could. The Tranquil never fought back. If not for that, I don't know. Doesn't really matter now.
Why study creatures?
Why did you decide to research dangerous creatures?
I like the outdoors. The idea of the outdoors, anyway. When some monster is coming at you, glowing eyes and burning claws, it's terrifying. But once you know how it works, you can deal with it. It's just another part of the world. So much of this world is only frightening because we don't understand it.
Goodbye.
I'll speak with you later.
Travel safely.
That was an interesting and enriching conversation. So, let us look around and talk with people. Do as the inquisitors do, I guess. Nothing in here.
Researcher Minave wishes to verify that the infections have decreased in number. I no longer talk to dragons.
Let's first look here, and then I can make my sweep of the other side. More loot.
Speak only the word, sing only the chant. Then the golden city.
Next skin. More loot. Oh no, something to read, I see. Well, more reading. The Fate. The study of the Fate is as old as humankind. For so long as men have dreamed, we have walked its twisting paths, sometimes catching a glimpse of the city at its heart. Always as close as our own thoughts, but impossibly separated from our world. The Tevinter Imperium once spent vast fortunes of gold, lyrium, and human slaves in an effort to map the terrain of the Fate, an ultimately futile endeavor. Although a portion of it belongs to powerful spirits, all of the Fate is in constant flux. The Imperium succeeded in finding the disparate and ever-shifting realm of a dozen demon lords, as well as cataloging a few hundred types of spirits, before they were forced to abandon the project. The relationship of dreamers to the Fate is complex. Even when entering the Fate through the use of lyrium, mortals are not able to control or affect it. The spirits who dwell there, however, can. And as the Chantry teaches us, the great flaw of the spirit is that they have neither imagination nor ambition. They create what they see through their sleeping visitors, building elaborate copies of our cities, people, and events, which, like the reflections in a mirror, ultimately lack context or life of their own. Even the most powerful demons merely plagiarize the worst thoughts and fears of mortals, and build their realms with no other ambition than to taste life. From Tranquility and the Role of the Fate in Human Culture by First Enchanter Josephus. Yes, Deeds? What is it? No. Who is it named after? Oh, sorry. Bumped my mic. Oh, it's also good to see my chat is back. Employee of 7-Eleven. Sure, Deeds. Sure. Yes. I doubt it's better than what I have, but... Wait, that is not my... That is my armor. There we go. Sure, Deets, just for you. Not dark doesn't move for anything. Everything moves for dark. I hope you're happy now. Founding of the Chantry. Cordelis Dracon, king of the city-states of Orlais, was a man of uncommon ambition. In the year -15 ancient, the young king began construction of a great temple dedicated to the Maker, and declared that by its completion he would not only have united the warring city-states of the south, he would have brought Andrastian belief to the world. In -3 ancient, the temple was completed. There, in its heart, Dracon knelt before the eternal flame of Andraste, and was crowned ruler of the Empire of Orlais. His first act as emperor, to declare the Chantry as the established Andrastian religion of the Empire. It took 3 years and several hundred votes before Olessa of Montsemar was elected to lead the new Chantry. Upon her coronation as divine, she took the name Justinia in honor of the disciple who recorded Andraste's songs. In that moment, the ancient era ended and the divine age began. From Ferelden, Folklore and History by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. Alright, good luck, Deeds. I'll see you later. Meanwhile, I'm just going to take it slow today. I don't know how much action I'm going to be able to finish. I don't know how much I'm going to be doing in this session. A lot of it is going to be used to, get me used to the things I can do in Haven, going out on missions. It's more like getting used to the basics of the game rather than actually churning out content today. I am going to look around Haven. I'm going to try and find everything that I can read, everything that I can find, everything that I can do, but it is going to be inherently a very slow-paced stream where I get to learn the things that are expected of me and what I can expect of the game. Chantry hierarchy. The Divine is the titular head of the Chantry, although since the schism spilled the Imperial Chantry into its own faction, there are now in fact 2 divines at any one time. One divine, informally called the White Divine, is a woman housed in the Grand Cathedral in Val Royeaux. The other, known as the Black Divine, is a man housed in the Argent Spire in Minaret House. Neither divine recognizes the existence of the other, and the informal names are considered sacrilegious. No matter the gender, a divine addressed as Most Holy or your perfection. Beneath the rank of divine is the Grand Cleric. Each Grand Cleric presides over numerous chantries and represents the highest religion authority for their region. They travel to Val Royeaux when the College of Clerics convenes, but otherwise remain where they are assigned. All Grand Clerics are addressed as Your Grace. Beneath the Grand Cleric is the Mother, or in the Imperial Chantry, the Father. If a Mother is in charge of a particular chantry, Reverend is appended to her title. These are the priests responsible for administering to the spiritual well-being of their flock. A Mother or Reverend Mother is addressed as Your Reverence. Brothers and sisters form the rank and file of the chantry and consists of three main groups: affirmed, initiated, and clerics. Affirmed are the lay brethren of the chantry, those regular folk who have turned to the chantry for succor. Often they are people who have led a difficult or irreligious life and have chosen to go into seclusion, or even orphans and similar unfortunates who were raised in chantry life. The affirmed take care of the chantry and are in turn afforded a life of quiet contemplation, no questions asked. Only those folk who take vows become initiates. These are the men and women in training, whether in academic knowledge or the martial skills of a warrior. All initiates receive an academic education, although only those who seek to become Templars learn how to fight in addition. Clerics are the true academics of the chantry, those men and women who have dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge. They are often found in chantry archives, sages presiding over libraries of books and arcane knowledge. The most senior of these clerics, placed in charge of such archive, is given the title Elder, although such a rank is still beneath that of Mother. All other brothers and sisters are addressed simply by noting their title before their name, such as Brother Jenny TV. From a guide for ambassadors from Revain. And now I wonder if these are marked as red. Yeah, most of them seems marked as red. There we go. Oh, that's pause. I wonder where this leads. I guess I don't have the key to this. Not yet, at least. Well, there's a few things here, apparently. So first off, there's loot. Ooh, balanced dagger, a schematic that I can make and sell to make money. Yeah, I don't appear to have keys. I guess I'll be needing keys later. And I know where the prison is, so if you ever ask me to go to the prison, I know where to find it. Can I run under this one? Oh, I can. I haven't even noticed before. Why can I? Oh, because the ground is higher. Interesting. Well, it's time to go out in the city and meet my people. Or at least the people I will start working with, because I assume as time goes on the Inquisition will grow. Depending on my choices. That reminds me. The Inquisitor Pact. Okay, so that is the main story. I need power for that. I need to meet the people, which is what I'm going to be doing now. And I need power for that as well. So those two I can't do yet. That's the main story that I need to do. But first, let's go meet the people in Haven. Maybe I can get more missions. Maybe I can learn more things. After all, one shouldn't rush into anything. Half the battle is being prepared for it, equipped with information and plans. That is Dark's mantra, at least. It does have a point. It is better to be prepared.
When there was no sky maker, when there was no earth, you were the earth. When there was nothing, you were everything.
I thought it was someone. It wasn't. Oh, I can't wear a hat. That's a bummer. To be fair, I don't think Dark would actually wear a hat, but still.
Ally with the Templars, I'd imagine? I've seen them weaken magic.
What about the rebel mages?
Rebel mages probably made that damn bridge.
Oh, Liliana. Hello.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Blessed are the righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written. Is that what you want from us? Blood? To die so that your will is done? Is death your only blessing? You speak for Andraste, no? What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game?
Game?
How is this a game?
Do you see the sky? What about the temple ruins? The bones lying in the dust? Even if you didn't support the Divine's peace, you wouldn't call this right. Who could? So many innocent lives. The faithful murdered where the holiest of holies once stood. If the Maker willed this, what is it if not a game or a cruel joke?
Well, Dark would be realistic. I can't speak for Andraste.
I speak for no one but myself, and I have no answers for you.
You probably don't even worship the Maker. Lucky. He asks a lot. The Chantry teaches that the Maker abandoned us. He demands repentance for our sins. He demands it all. Our lives, our deaths. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die.
You have my sympathies.
I'm sorry. Her death has clearly hit you hard.
Not just me. All of us. She was the Divine. She led the faithful. She was their heart. If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best of his servants, what good is he? I used to believe I was chosen, just as some say you are. I thought I was fulfilling his purpose for me, working with the Divine. Helping people. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing.
Then let me help you.
Maybe you have another purpose. I could help you find it.
No, this is my burden. I regret that I even let you see me like this. It was a moment of weakness. It won't happen again. Come. To work, then. We will speak later.
I hope I took the right option. I might need to confer with Shady when she's around.
So it's true. Butler has a stand on us. I hope my hunch was wrong.
You knew him well?
Not as well as I thought. Neither reports.
Inquisition
Master Harry
request.
said that without more ore, he won't be able to get blades for the recruits.
Tell Master Harriet that ore doesn't grow on trees.
Yes, Mom. I think he knows, Mom. He talked about how we have to dig it up.
Mom.
I didn't realize any of Leliana's Oxman mercenaries were still here. Well, if you want new gear, you pay for it. Oh, you're him. Thren. Inquisition Quartermaster. I'm doing what I can to supply this mess. If you find what I need to fill one of my requisitions, I'd appreciate you bringing it in.
She just said what her job is. How did you end up here?
How does someone end up as quartermaster for the Inquisition?
I served for Eldon under Ten Loghain MacTier. The best commanding officer this world has ever seen.
Okay.
After they all turned on him at Denerim, though, there wasn't much use for people who held that opinion. King Alistair offered my services to the Inquisition, probably to get rid of me.
I'm glad you believe in him.
Your loyalty to the man you served is admirable, Quartermaster.
Thank you. A lot of people seem to think they know what happened at Ostagar, but I was there. Ten Loghain never betrayed his king. If he'd brought the reinforcements, Darkspawn would have just killed everyone. He did what he had to do to save our country, and we betrayed him. I apologize. Sister Liliana told me I shouldn't talk about this. Just forget it.
Some people, it's one of the things that I really like about Regnant is the fact that it can show people as being genuinely flawed. There is no excusing what he did at Ostagar. If Darren Loghain did support at Ostagar, they might have actually had a chance of winning. But his own greed for power made him betray the people close to him. We didn't betray him, he betrayed us. What happened to him afterwards is unfortunate, but it was the only right thing to do in Dark's eyes. But there are still people to this day who hold this opinion. I don't know. Like, I get it, it's good storytelling and people are flawed, but she is seriously blind, so I kinda get why they send her away, but we gotta rely on her skills, so Dark is going to hold his tongue, because technically he was at Ostagar as well. People just don't realize that he's the same person as the hero Ferelden. Tell me about requisitions.
What did you mean when you mentioned requisitions?
I'm making this Inquisition run with what we have, but we're not a real army. We're stretched thin on materials, so I've put up a requisition list for anything that could help our people. Here, take a look. You find some iron and a good logging site. Maybe Harriet can get our troops better weapons.
Okay, and how do I fill special
If I
orders?
have material for a special order, do I bring it to you?
Just take it over there. One of my boys will take the materials or jot down what you found.
Alright. Goodbye.
Farewell.
Make her go with you.
Inquisition weapons? One logging stand and 5 iron. Okay.
Thanks for checking anyway.
I did get a nuke. codex, I think. So let me just quickly check that. Oh, I did. The study of the fifth blight. Oh, that's because of what the person mentioned about Terran Logain. A study of the fifth blight, volume 1. While some of my contemporary disputes whether the fifth blight was a true blight or merely a large darkspawn resurgence, historians agree that it began in the swamps of the Korkari wilds on the southern border of Ferelden in the year 930 Dragon. King Kaelin Terran was swift in responding to the threat, gathering the royal army, every Grey Warden in his country, and sending a call for aid to the Ferelden nobility. The assembled armies laid a trap in the ruins of Ostagar, hoping to crush the force before it reached civilization. But they failed. Darkspawn overran the defenders of Ostagar and decimated the king and his army. They continued their advance into Ferelden unopposed. Only 2 Grey Wardens managed to escape the slaughter, and somehow they came into possession of ancient treaties, which compelled the races of men to join arms against the massive horde. The surviving Wardens made their way to King Lochhold, home of the Ferelden Circle, and conscripted the mages. In desperation to find more allies, the Wardens journeyed to the Brecilian forest, seeking the Dalish. The elves too joined the growing army. Into the deep roads the surviving Wardens went, searching for Paragon Branka in hopes she could settle the unrest in Ozamar and unite the dwarfs in the battle against the Archdemon. Branka could not be located, but another Paragon was found, the legendary Caridin, who forged a crown that ended all question of succession. Balin A. Dukan was crowned King of Ozamar, and the dwarven armies marched for the surface. Despite their success, though, greater challenges were yet to come. Okay. Take all. I had a feeling there might have been something here. So good thing I came to check. Ooh. Let me take all. Take all.
Though the darkness comes upon me, I shall embrace the light. I shall weather the storm. I shall endure.
Oh,
What you have created,
Varric.
no one can tear asunder.
Let's have a talk with Varric. I'd like to hear what he says. This would also technically be Dark's first casual conversation with him.
So, now that Cassandra's out of earshot, are you holding up all right? I mean, you go from being the most wanted criminal in Thedas to joining the armies of the faithful. Most people would have spread that out over more than one day.
Too many people did die up there for no good causes. Yeah, that's also true. Most people are in Dark.
I don't even want to think about how many lives were lost on that mountaintop.
A lot of good men and women didn't make it out of there. For days now, we've been staring at the breach, watching demons and maker knows what fall out of it. Bad for morale would be an understatement. I still can't believe anyone was in there and lived.
Why did you stay?
If it was that bad, why did you stay? Cassandra said you were free to go.
I like to think I'm as selfish and irresponsible as the next guy, but this... Thousands of people died on that mountain. I was almost one of them. And now there's a hole in the sky. Even I can't walk away and just leave that to sort itself out.
We need to close the breach.
The breach needs to be sealed. The sooner the better.
If it can be sealed, you might want to consider running at the first opportunity. I've written enough tragedies to recognize where this is going. Heroes are everywhere. I've seen that. But the hole in the sky... that's beyond heroes. We're going to need a miracle.
Well, I like Varric.
Need something?
Tell me about Red Lyrium.
The red lyrium we found at the temple seemed to upset you.
My brother Bartrand and I sort of discovered Red Lyrium during an expedition in the Deep Roads. We located an ancient thaig, so old it barely looked dwarven. There was this idol there made of it. Bartrand brought it back to the surface, and, well, everything's gone downhill from there.
What is it, exactly?
So what is it? Just another kind of lyrium?
The red stuff is lyrium like a dragon is a lizard. It's not just a different color. It has a whole host of weirdness all its own. I've written to every mining cast house in Orzammar. No one's seen this stuff before or knows where it came from.
Okay. What can it do?
What makes it special?
Regular lyrium can mess you up pretty badly, but you have to ingest it for that to happen. Red lyrium messes with your mind when you're just near the stuff. You hear singing, get violent, paranoid, and then it does creepy shit. Makes things float, brings statues to life. It also turned Kirkwall's Knight Commander to lyrium. Everyone's been kept at least 100 paces from it since.
Why was it at the temple?
How did the red lyrium get in the Temple of Sacred Ashes?
I don't know. So as far as I knew, the only piece to make it to the surface was destroyed. And the location of the thaig it came from is a secret. Did someone find more of it in the Deep Roads? That's not a cheery thought.
That's enough for now.
I think that's enough on red lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject.
That's understandable.
Need something?
I have a personal question.
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
Oh, no worries. I think Dark can read lies very well, I hope. How do you know Cassandra?
How do you and Cassandra know each other?
You heard about the Kirkwall Chantry being destroyed? The guy responsible used to be a friend of mine.
Oh, wow.
The Seeker had questions about that, and I had answers.
Where are you from?
You from Ferelden? Orlais?
Free Marches, born and raised in Kirkwall. And despite whatever you've heard, no, Kirkwall's not that bad.
What do you do?
I'm not clear on your line of work. You're a merchant?
I'm a businessman. My family has a seat in the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Merchants buy and sell goods. Businessmen buy and sell stores. In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write books.
Oh. He wouldn't do that, because he does know Liliana, and... nothing can hide Varric's chest. It's too fabulous of its own. He wouldn't ask if he could do Liliana's job. Since Dark is the same as Dragon Age Origins Dark, He knows Liliana is good and effective and wants to work with her, so that is not a thing he would ask. What books do you write?
You're an author? What kind of books have you written?
I've tried my hands at a few genres. My crime serials are my most popular. Hard in Hightown, guards breaking the rules to get things done. The Tale of the Champion is the most famous thing I've written, or infamous maybe. I started a romance serial once, Swords and Shields, but to be honest, I don't have a knack for romances. Most of my stories end in tragedy. Probably that says something unfortunate about me personally.
What shops do you own?
What sort of shops do you own?
Actually, we don't own shops. That was just an example. Mostly we invest in moneylenders. Auction houses, a few mercenary companies, a couple of smithies. I think we own half a beet plantation in Ravane somewhere. Most of that's my brother's doing. Bartrand had business sense. Not much tact, but loads of business sense.
Tell me about the crossbow.
Where did you get that crossbow? I've never seen one like it.
Bianca? She's one of a kind. Funny story. I bought a salvaged ship and found her locked in a dragonbone reinforced chest in the hold. I broke 3 dozen lockpicks and blunted 9 saws opening that trunk, but it was worth it.
Why Bianca?
Who is she named for?
I can't tell you.
Ooh. Why not?
And the reason for that is?
Complicated. It's the one story I'll never tell. We just have to leave it at that.
Alright, I can respect that. That's all
Thanks,
for now.
Varric.
No problem.
I do want to know about Hawk.
I've read your Tale of the Champion, and I have a few questions.
That's a pretty common reaction. Go ahead.
I love the fact that this is one of the things when me and my friends were talking about the fact that I went through the ending of Dragon Age 2. This was one of the things that I commented on. Oh, you didn't miss it. So I started talking to Varric about Hawk, and I got a list of questions I can ask him. One of the questions is, Orsino's fate made no sense. Now, I don't know if you were there or not, Deeds. I'm not sure about that. But it is a conversation I had with Shady. And she asked me what I thought about the Dragon Age 2 ending. And one of the things that I said, one of the very first things that I said, is that what Orsino did made no sense story-wise. And I love that that is the first question I can ask. Oh. Orsino's fate made no sense.
In the book you say that first enchanter Orsino turned himself into a giant monster made of corpses? How?
And Varric dislikes that.
Do I look like an expert on magical weirdness to you? Well, I can't tell you how. For the why, all I can say is he was desperate.
You made up the Arishok fight?
There is no way Hawk really could have killed the Arishok. It would have started a war with the Qunari.
I was told later that the Qunari disavowed his actions. Apparently the Arishok didn't get permission before he attacked Kirkwall, and the Qun didn't want another exalted march. When they finally sent a ship to haul the Red Dreadnought away, they just said, "We will never speak of this again." As far as I can tell, that's the Qun's version of an apology.
Where are Hawk's friends?
Where are the rest of Hawk's associates now?
Meryl decided to look after the elves left homeless by the fighting. She's done a pretty good job of keeping them away from the mages and Templars, so far. I guess she has plenty of practice avoiding stupid human battles with her old Dalish clan. Fenris has kept himself busy, hunting down the Tevinter slavers who came south to prey on the refugees. I'm not sure exactly where he is at the moment. You can usually follow the trail of corpses, though. Isabella went back to the raiders. She's calling herself an admiral now. I don't know if she's actually in charge or just has a really big hat. Might be the same thing, honestly.
Fuck
Sebastian
Isabella.
went back to Starkhaven. I'm sure he's boring all sorts of people there. Hawk's brother Carver is still in the Free Marches, helping the Kirkwall Guard keep order. Aveline is still guard captain. I'm pretty sure Kirkwall would fall into the sea if she quit her job.
Sounds about right. I've got more reading to do, but I'll do that in a moment. Let me first get the codex. Oh, I already read that story. It's this one. Notorious raider trash. You want to know about my raider friends, huh? What in the world would make a goody-goody like you poke your nose in such a dirty business? Well, there's good Sir Thaddeus, of course. Some people say he runs the Armada. He doesn't. No one does. The Armada is a collection of shit, and each one is like a nation unto itself. Its own rules, its own people, its own leader. Thaddeus is respected, of course. You don't sink a half-dozen Orlesian frigates without earning at least some respect. He's a dangerous man, but he's no king of the Armada. Anyone tells you that, they're lying. Or misinformed. Then there's Lachlan Poole. Likes to sail around the southern Cape of Ravane, rattling his saber and posturing like it means something. No one really cares what Lachlan Poole does, though only a fool will say that to his face. You see, the thing about Lachlan Poole is he's got gold. Lots of it. All earned through legitimate means, even. He still has a trading company somewhere in the Marches and hires people to run it while he plays adventurer on the high seas. The Armada lets him do it because it always pays to have friends with coin. The one you should really watch out for is Ianto. They call him the Talon, or Terror of Lomarin, but most often, that crooked bastard what might kill you in your sleep. Slavery, murder, torture, nothing is too much for Ianto. He'd traffic in souls if he discovered a way to extract them from people. In fact, I'm sure he has some Tevinter croonies working on that right this second. I'm sure there's going to be made in stolen souls somewhere. The Imperium, probably. Isabella, self-proclaimed queen of the Eastern Seas. I hope she dies in a ditch somewhere. I hope I can cause her to die in a ditch somewhere.
Fix the door just like you asked, Lissa.
The divine, the mage,
It's just what I heard.
everyone ready to talk.
Master Harriet said
Now
I should
all
go
is
back
there.
right away.
I got more codex entries and more weapons and armor. Anyway, let me check my codex. I feel the sun through the ashes in the sky. One who died into the night. So those are the songs. A tale of the frostbacks. Even mountains had a heart once. When the world was young, Kort the Mountain Father kept his throne at the peak of Balanas, the mountain at the center of the world, from which he could see all the corners of earth and sky. And he saw strong men become weak. Brave men grow cowardly, and wise men turn foolish for love. Kort devised a plan that he might never be betrayed by his own heart. By taking it out and hiding it where no soul would ever dare search for it, he sealed it inside a golden cask, buried it in the earth, and raised around it the fiercest mountains the world had ever seen, the Frostbacks, to guard it. But without his heart, the mountain father grew cruel. His chest was filled with bitter mountain winds that shrieked and howled like lost souls. Food lost its flavor, music had no sweetness, but he lost all joy in deeds of valor. He sent avalanches and earthquakes to torment the tribes of men and gods. The tribes of men. Gods and men rose against him, calling him a tyrant. But with no heart, Kort could not be slain. Soon there were no heroes left, either among the men or gods, who would dare challenge Kort. The Lady of the Skies sent the best of her children, the swiftest, the cleverest, and the strongest flyers, to scour the mountains of the missing heart, and for a year and a day they searched, but sparrow and raven, vulture and eagle, swift and albatross, returned to her with nothing. Then the ptarmigan spoke up and offered to find Togachi's heart. The other birds laughed, for the ptarmigan is a tiny bird, too humble to soar, which spends half its time hopping along the ground. The lady would not give the little creature her blessing, for the mountains were too fierce even for eagles, but the ptarmigan set out anyway. The little bird traveled deep into the frostbacks. When she could not fly, she crawled. She hugged the ground and weathered the worst mountain winds, and so made her lonely way to the valley where the heart beat. With all the gods' terrible deeds, the heart was far too heavy for the tiny bird to carry, so she rolled it, little by little, out of the valley and down a cliff, and when the golden cask struck the earth, it shattered. The heart was full, almost to bursting, and the pain of it roused the mountain god to come see what happened. When Kort neared his heart, it leapt back into his chest, and he was whole again. Then Hakon Winter's Breath bound Kort's chest with 3 bands of iron and 3 bands of ice, so he could never again escape. And all the remaining gods named the ptarmigan, honored above even the loftiest eagles. The ptarmigan, an Avar tale from Ferelden folklore and history by Sister Patrine's Chantry Scholars. Resources found here: elfroot and iron.
If you say so.
Okay.
Oh, Maker, you were him. You were the Herald of Andraste. And you were sent to test us, to see whether we would accept a Cunari as Andraste's chosen. I think everyone is worthy of love. The Maker just makes some of us larger and greyer than others. I'm Flissa. Can I get you a drink?
Gunari must relax, Flissa.
It's all right, Flissa. I won't do anything frightening.
If you wanted to close the breach, I wouldn't mind. As I said, I'm Flissa. The Inquisition soldiers needed a place to unwind, so Leliana brought me in to set up a tavern. Nothing fancy, but it's safer for the soldiers than looking for trouble in some village.
How do you know Liliana?
You said Liliana asked you to run an Inquisition tavern. How did you meet?
Dumb luck, mainly. I managed an inn back in Denerim. When I heard interesting gossip, I'd pass word to Liliana. Sometimes it was helpful. She asked if I wanted to own my own tavern, and I said yes. I didn't realize she meant this.
What can I find in Haven?
What can you tell me about this area?
Adan is Haven's apothecary. He's been making potions and tending to the wounded as best he can. Harrit is the Inquisition smith. Whatever he can't make you, Thren the quartermaster can probably find. And for anything fancier, you can try buying from Segrit. His prices aren't too high. Yet. Oh, there's also Minave. She studies beasts and things, as I understand.
Alright, thank you.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
Enchanters, the time has come to be alive in this circle of moonshine where we will thrive without bother. Enchanters remind that time will not unwind. The dragon's crooked spine will make us trust in what we plead will be. Embrace of fire, the reign of the lion, eclipsing the eye fight for the day you'll
Nightingale's eyes. So, I found a little cheatsy trick. Apparently, if you enter the tavern and leave, they switch songs. But if you then come back in and leave again, they switch songs again. So I can basically just collect all the songs in one go. Or at least the songs here. What are you talking about, Teets? I'm just efficient. Didn't you like efficiency? Oh, I need to wait until she sings again. I'm not cheating. I haven't done anything that's cheating. I'm not using glitches or anything. This is just something that happens. So I benefited. Also, something is weird here. Why do these people have guards? Let's try something.
Are we going to have new verses in the Chant of Light now for the Herald of Andraste, telling what he did?
It's far too soon to consider anything like that.
I was talking with a friend who said there used to be a verse about an elf in the Chant of Light.
No, that's not true. I'm sorry, but that doesn't mean the Maker loves you any less.
Way to get it, followers. The Singing Maiden. Have you ever heard the story of King Bedwyr? Bedwyr, like most kings, was a man of great pride who expected nothing but complete loyalty from his subjects. He believed the best way to achieve this was through fear. After all, those who feared him would never cross him or question his rule. More importantly, those who feared him would always seek to please him. Bedwyr cultivated terror in his subordinates through the gleeful and unrestrained use of contraptions referred to as the Maiden. The Maiden was an hinged iron casket, in high and wide and deep as a man, with vicious spikes within, meant to pierce through the poor soul locked into it. Bedwyr's Maiden was a prized possession and stood in a place of honor in his throne room, often with a screaming victim inside it. Political rivals, suspected assassins, treasonous ministers, the Maiden consumed them all. But as time passed, more people were given to the Maiden for increasingly trivial offenses. The cook for oversalting the king's food, the page boy for dropping his sword. The Maiden cast a pall over the kingdom, and its people prayed for deliverance from the cruel king. Then one day a strange woman rode into the city. She called herself Ember, and was an emissary from a far-off land. Her leaders had heard, she said, of Bedwyr's wisdom and authority, and she sought the king's counsel. The thought that he had earned the adulation of brother kings across the sea made Bedwyr swell with pride, and he granted Ember an audience. They dined and danced, and through it all, Ember flattered and fawned on the king. At the end of the night, Ember asked to see the Maiden, the infamous device that had given Bedwyr all his power. The king, giddy with praise, proudly presented Ember with the empty contraption. Ember looked at the Maiden, sighed with disappointment, and said, "That does not look terrifying at all. I should have imagined the spikes to be much sharper." Bedwyr grew red at her comment and replied, "The spikes are sharp enough. Look at all the blood that still clings to them." But it is so small, said Amber. Are only children and women its victims? Bedwyr grew redder still and replied, Of course not. The maiden has devoured many men. Amber shook her head and said to the king, I do not believe it. Surely no warrior could fear this thing. A man like yourself, tall and muscled, would not fit within. The king laughed and saw a way to prove the merit of the maiden to Amber. I will show you how easily a man like myself could fit, he said. And with that he stepped into the device. But Amber was waiting, and no sooner had Bedwyr squeezed himself into the iron casket than Amber slammed it shut on him. Amber took the maiden with the screaming Bedwyr inside through the castle and down into the city, and the people, finally free from the king's tyranny, cheered and danced to the singing that echoed through the streets until Bedwyr was dead, and it finally stopped. The tale often told in the Singing Maiden Tavern.
Can I get you anything?
Goodbye.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
I think I got all the songs right now that I could get here. Which is weird because I am missing one. But oh well, maybe later. Soulless, huh? I'll find him.
The chosen of Andraste, a blessed hero sent to save us all.
Hi Shady, welcome home. So just so you know, I did mention this in the beginning. It's going to be a very, very slow stream. First of all, I made some changes to the layout to see if people would like it. I went with minimalistic so that most of the screen would be free, since I am also considering changing layout in the future, but that is future music. For now, I made it as minimalist as possible so that most of the screen can be enjoyed and everything can be seen. The second reason it's going to be a slower day, I'm glad you like it. The other reason it's going to be a slower day is because this is my first time actively playing into the game and learning what it is to be expected, what I can expect of the game and things that I can do in it. So I'm taking my time, walking around, seeing what all is available and trying to get an idea of everything I can do. And I found a bunch of music, and I'm reading a lot, so there is that. I'm not a hero.
I've no interest in being a hero. All I want is to find a way to seal this breach.
Pragmatic, but ultimately irrelevant.
Wow.
I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations. I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars, both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
You study ancient ruins.
What do you mean ruins in battlefields?
Any building strong enough to withstand the rigors of time has a history. Every battlefield is steeped in death. Both attract spirits. They press against the veil, weakening the barrier between our worlds.
I can see why.
When I dream in such places, I go deep into the Fade. I can find memories no other living being has ever seen.
Well, Dark wouldn't have any problem sleeping there either. That is impressive.
I've never heard of anyone going so far into the Fade. That's extraordinary.
Thank you. It's not a common field of study for obvious reasons. Not so flashy as throwing fire or lightning. The thrill of finding remnants of a 1,000-year-old dream? I would not trade it for anything. I will stay then. At least until the breach has been closed.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate mage surrounded by Chantry forces, and unlike you, I do not have a divine mark protecting me. Cassandra has been accommodating, but you understand my caution.
Cassandra will protect you.
Cassandra trusts you. She won't let anyone put you into a circle against your will.
Thank you. I appreciate the thought. But now let us hope either the mages or the Templars
I
have the
won't
power to
watch
seal
it,
the breach.
don't worry. And I'll also play it when it comes out. By the way, Shady, I do need to ask you something. Because I might have messed up. I've spoken with Liliana and I don't know if I made the right choices. She was talking to me about her fate. No, I'm not gonna time travel. I'm gonna stick with what I said because it's what Dark would say. Give me a moment. Apothecary. Find recipes through exploration or by visiting merchants. Visit an apothecary with herbs you gather in the wilderness to upgrade potions. Use the equip station to assign different potions to each of your party members and to replenish the potions you are carrying. Use the upgrade station to unlock permanent upgrades to your potions. Anyway, she was talking about her fate and her doubt in her fate most actively, and about the fact that she doubts because the Maker let his most faithful believer die and didn't act. She was talking about that. And I know that two of the choices I made was that that I gave her my sympathies because the divine was important to her, and that if she believed that she no longer has a purpose with the Maker, then Dark offered to stick with him. He could help her find her new purpose.
Segret told me that he can't let the herbs go for anything less than 8.
Fine. We'll gather our own. Tell Segret he better hope he doesn't need a salve anytime soon.
Upgrade potions, equip potions, read. Patient observations. Day 2. Pulse normal, breathing normal, still unresponsive. Careful drop feed of prep. Elfroot extract to hasten his recovery. A lot of threshing. Mutters about too many eyes. Something about the grey. Encouraging? But yeah, that's about what I remember with that conversation with Liliana. Ring of critical chance.
Look who's back from the dead. Again. I shouldn't be surprised. You Oxmen are tough as old leather.
Alright, I'll remember that. Oh, we've met?
I don't recall meeting you before.
I'd be surprised if you did. You weren't particularly coherent. Someone had to patch you up
It
after you
kind of
staggered out of
is.
making us wear
But
that.
Dark is also
So,
used to
you're welcome.
worse, so he's just like... Thank you.
I didn't realize. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, you can pay me back by fixing the world. Name's Adan. I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
Need any help?
Is there anything I can do to help out?
We're fine as far as raw labor goes. You've more important things to do than tend to me. I only wish I'd been able to find Master Tajin's notes. Old bastard was working on something special. He died at the Conclave, and his notes weren't here. Been too busy dealing with the wounded to look for them.
But Dark wouldn't say that straight to a person. That's just going to de-escalate or escalate the situation in not a positive way, so he's not going to say that. How are things?
How are your people holding up?
There's no shortage of work. That's for damn sure.
How do I order potions?
How do I go about having potions made?
Just take a look there and tell me what you'd like. Find a recipe for something better, I can make that too.
Potion assignment and replenishment. You can equip or replenish potions for each party member. Drag potions from the list on the left to the slots on the bottom right to assign them to the current party member. You must replenish potions before you can use them. Healing potions are replenished for free automatically, but all other potions require herbs for replenishing. The type of number of herbs required appear next to the selected potion's description. Click a slot in the bottom right to replenish an equipped potion. Take your time.
Perhaps another time.
Potion upgrading. You can upgrade potions you have already unlocked. To upgrade a potion, select a category, select a potion, then select the upgrade. Potion upgrades require a significant amount of herbs to unlock. In return, they give permanent and significant bonuses to your potions. Don't have that. Don't have that. Don't have that. Okay. Just gonna check this tutorial box if I find out which one it is. This one. More Alfred. Is he going to say anything else, by the way, if I talk to him? Because I haven't actually checked.
Closing the breach is our primary goal. But I hope we might also discover what was used to create it. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
Do you think it survived?
You don't think whatever created the explosion was destroyed in the blast?
You survived, did you not? The artifact that created the breach is unlike anything seen in this age. I will not believe it destroyed until I see the shattered fragments with my own eyes.
I agree.
We would do well to try to recover whatever created the breach.
Liliana's people have scoured the area near the blast and found nothing. Whatever the artifact was, it is no longer there. In any case, did you need me for anything?
Tell me about the Fade.
What do you know about the Fade?
A great deal, from my wanderings. There are few hard facts, but I can share what I have learned.
Okay. Tell me about the breach.
I'd like to know more about the breach.
Simply put, it is a tear in the veil between this world and the Fade, allowing spirits to enter the world physically. Small tears occur naturally when magic weakens the veil, or when spirits cluster at an area that has seen many deaths. But your mark allows you to exert some control over the breach. That means it was created deliberately.
Tell me about the veil.
I'd like to know more about the veil.
Circle mages call it a barrier between this world and the Fade. But according to my studies in ancient elven lore, that is a vast oversimplification. Without it, imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the wind.
That sounds marvelous.
It sounds like it would be wonderful.
And dangerous. But yes, a world where imagination defines reality. Where spirits are as common as trees or grass. Instead, spirits are strange and fearful. And the Fade is a terrifying world touched only by mages and dreamers. I am glad that I'm not alone in seeing the beauty of such a world, along with the obvious peril.
Tell me about demons.
I'd like to know more about demons.
The Chantry says that demons hate the natural world and seek to bring their chaos and destruction to the living. But such simplistic labels misconstrue their motivations, and in so doing, do all a great disservice. Spirits wish to join the living. And a demon is that wish gone wrong.
Can we change that?
Is there a way to coexist? To live with them, if not in peace, at least without such active confrontation?
Not in the world we know today. The veil creates a barrier that makes true understanding most unlikely. But the question is a good one, and it matters that you thought to ask.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye. Hello.
Tell me about yourself.
I'd like to know more about you, Solus.
Why?
I respect you. When it comes time to choose between mages or Templars, make sure you have your war table missions and side quests done. Also, I want to see. Don't worry, I will eventually get there. And I'll try and make sure you are there as well. But you might have to update me when that is. I respect you. Dark would respect him because so far, based on what I have just seen, but so far Dark would respect Solus because Solus is a scholar that studies even the things that others don't want to be studied, and only by having information can actions be undertaken to prevent disasters from happening. If you try to stop something you don't understand, there is a chance you make it worse. You gotta understand something to stop it from spreading chaos and disaster. I respect you.
You're an apostate, yet you risked your freedom
And
the Inquisition.
Dark.
Not the wisest course of action when framed that way.
I appreciate the work you're doing, Solus. I just wanted to know more about you.
I'm sorry. With so much fear in the air. What would you know of me?
Why study the Fade specifically?
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
That sounds dangerous.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits, and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
Clearly you woke up.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interesting.
Huh. Is that why you're here?
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger.
Well, that
If
too,
our enemies
but
destroy the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade.
I hope that works.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You train your will to control magic and withstand possession. Your indomitable focus is an enjoyable side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
Interesting. Where have you studied, if you don't mind me
You said
asking?
you've traveled to many different places.
This world, or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers. The best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Which battlefields?
Any place in particular?
I dreamt at Ostagar. I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal fire, and Logain's infamous betrayal of Kaelin's forces.
So funny enough, Dark would ask him to tell him what happened, not because he wants to know, but because to him this is an interesting research area to see how much of the tragedy at Ostagar reflects the reality of what actually happened. And here is a live person who can tell what he learned through the Fate, and Dark, who was there. Tell me what happened.
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire, and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Kaelin fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
And you can't tell which is real.
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Fair. Do you work with anyone?
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
Wisdom and purpose.
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
I see. And those are demon names.
You're saying that you became friends with pride and desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
That is amazing.
I'm impressed that you could become friends with spirits.
Anyone who can dream has the potential. Few ever try. My friends comforted me in grief and shared my joy. Yet, because they exist without form, as we understand it, the Chantry declares that spirits are not truly people. Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varric by his chest hair and not his wit?
I can't speak about Cassandra, but Varric is definitely defined by his chest hair. Yes. Spirits are people.
I hadn't thought about it that way, but I see your point.
Thank you. Few are willing to entertain such a notion.
Goodbye.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Just gonna run around real quick. See if there's anything around here. Yep, called it. I see more elf fruit. So what's in here? More to read. The Randy Dowager Quarterly. A well-worn quarterly, massive of suspect virtue. The Randy Dowager welcomes the cool of autumn with the fall of another. The collected dreams of desire, being the confession of an apprentice and training, more furrowing than harrowing, forbidden dalliances at their most spirited. The Randy Dowager, exhibitions for the noble of thought, but spry of step. The lady herself says, enchanting. One supports the circle, if only because closed doors offer the imagination more. 3 scarves fluttered in shock out of 5. Okay. Not sure what that book is about, but that is probably one book Dark wouldn't add to his collection of... to his library, I'll put it like that.
Have you heard about the refugees out in the hinterlands near Redcliffe?
Let me just run a little. Yeah, and that runs around again. Okay, so what's down here? Oh, that's a bench. Yeah, that's Liliana, that's Varric. So these are all people I've already talked to. Oh, another note. Let's read. Patient observation, day 3. Last thrashing, some response to stimulus. Vitals seem solid. 2 attempts so far by locals to break into the chantry to kill my patient. All this work to save his life, and will they just execute him? Will inform Lady Cassandra. I expect him to wake up before morn. So apparently there were no shortages of attempts on my life. Now comes the text above the screen. Dark will remember this. For those of you who don't know, that is a reference to the Telltale games where your choices are often remembered, and whenever an action would add or change or diminish a person's favorability of you, or you do something that will affect future choices, there would just a text on the top appear, this person will remember that. More often than not, it tends to be used ominously. cigarette.
Master Harriet said we weren't to sell Inquisition blades.
What Harriet doesn't know won't hurt him. Good day. Or good as it could be with the sky ripped apart.
How is the mood here?
You must speak with most everyone here. How are people doing?
Hope and fear in equal measure. No one really knows what it means when an inquisition is called. Yet, of course, we're all getting used to, well, you as our last best hope. Nothing personal.
Okay, but then why have you stayed?
What kind of person stays to run a shop at a time like this?
The kind with nowhere else to go. These blasted demons destroyed most of my goods. If I stay here, work some contacts, I can start rebuilding. Maybe, just maybe, help you folks out in the process.
Alright, I'd like to buy something.
Can I see what you have for sale?
Of course. My wares are at the table.
Acolyte lightning staff. No. Nothing for sale. Sturdy Bianca grip. I would need to check whether or not he already has that. Valuables, crafting materials, weapon schematics. I am going to grab those. Buy. Sell all. Back. Oh, that's how we sell. Okay. Before I do that, let me check something with Varric. Ring of critical chance, because why not? Upgrades. Can I make those upgrades? One-handed bows. I might need to figure out how I can make upgrades before I can buy them. Because if I can make them, why would I buy them? Especially from somebody who seems very unscrupulous. Merchant. Okay, so I found a blacksmith. No, I didn't. The blacksmith is behind that hole. So, what is going on here?
I don't see why we need to build siege equipment. We're not laying siege to anything.
That's an excellent point, recruit. But if someone comes to lay siege to us, perhaps it will be best for us to have some means to fight back.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
I mean, it is a good point. You gotta be prepared. Dragon Thorn, Rare Herb, Blue Vitriol. Oh. Not bad, not bad. Codex unlocked, Dragon Thorn, so... Dragonthorn. The wood of a dragonthorn tree is prized for its strength and has been used to craft bows of remarkable quality. But the leaves are equally valuable. Alchemists have known for centuries that an extract of dragonthorn leaves will enhance and stabilize other more volatile magical compounds. Oh, by Ines. Interesting. Also magic. Spirits and demons. When I first summoned her, she was a rose, unwithering, unchanging, and untorn. A spirit of the purest love, one knows, who never hated, coveted, or scorned. A second time I drew her crossed the veil, and shared a walk, a dance, a stolen kiss, with such a perfect beauty, pure and pale, no woman could compare, no man resist. Then in my weakness I essayed a third. Though magisters their warning did impart, she broke my binding with a single word, and said that smiling as she clutched my heart, though love I was, your passion's changing fire has forged the spirit into cruel desire. No, Teats, what is it? Dragon Ball. Sure, Teats. Sure. Construction orders. As you know from the terrible accident of last week, many passages through the mountains are unstable and liable to collapse at any moment. I do not wish us to lose more brothers and sisters in the search for lost cultist treasure. We must seal all entrances into the mountain. The Templars have done a careful sweep of the caves. Everything of worth was collected. What remains of the disciples of Andraste will be forgotten, buried in the earth. Once it is done, let us have no more talk of them. This is New Haven, restored to life by the true Chantry and most holy Justinia V. More reading. It's going to be a lot of reading this episode. Shorter cooldown could be good for him. Siege equipment and Tellus. Siege weaponry has been used in Tellus for centuries, with primitive equipment used as far back as the Third Blight. Nevertheless, it occupies a peculiar niche in the tools of warfare due to its requirements. Any army wishing to produce trebuchets or catapults must be funded and organized well enough to procure both the necessary materials and the military experts to construct them. Throughout history, most armies who fulfilled such requirements did not take advantage of the situation. During the Third Blight, for example, Arlisans and Montsimar constructed catapults to fling flaming debris at the Darkspawn, but the expense of the weapons did not justify the limited damage they caused, and the Darkspawn were ultimately driven back by the Grey Wardens, not siege weaponry. The Winter forces similarly had the resources to construct siege weapons when attacking the Free Marchers or defending themselves against the exalted marches of the Black Age. Instead, the Imperium focused primarily upon the power of its magisters, who were less powerful but more flexible than siege equipment, and who could more easily fall back when the tide of battle turned. As a result, in the battles against the Kunari in the Steel Age, generals found to their chagrin that the great Oxman had left them behind. Kunari black powder is, most military experts agree, not magic. It is merely an advanced alchemy that makes their cannons more effective than any trebuchet ever could be. Nevertheless, there remains hope. As centuries have passed since the last Blight, and mages are now safely held in the circles where they harm none, the experts of Ferelden and Olé may once again turn great minds to learning. We need more magic, not where the minds of men survive unfettered. With our research and our commitment to knowledge, we can easily surpass the brutal Qunari on the field of battle. From Kuhn, Gurns, and Steel, Military Conflicts in a Post-Blight Terrace, written by 929 Dragons, shortly before the start of the 5th Blight. Ooh, more elk fruit. And K9 leather. Ooh, more blueprints. Don't mind if I do. Okay, this is a dead end, so now I'm gonna make my way back real quick.
We'll need some of your cloth for bandages.
And how much is Mother Giselle willing to offer?
Can you really put a price on the love of Andraste?
Yes. If you ask him, he's going to say yes. Yes, he is.
I spoke with Commander
Also, can somebody please tell me that they saw that person face through a door?
It's nothing. Now, Scalpelane, what can you tell me of Redcliffe?
The mages have been quiet since their attack on the Conclave.
Their attack? Do you have information confirming that the mages were responsible?
Well,
No worries.
I had assumed.
Don't. Our job is to acquire actionable information. Assumptions can lead you to overlook something vital.
That is a very good point. I need to go around for that chest, but it's good to know it's there. So there's something in here. Good to look around. Special shipments. I already got those then. No, because this is the special shipments chest. So this is where I woke up. So basically this is probably my residence. Our fruit. Our fruit. Our flute. To be fair, I don't think I have ever taken anything out of people's homes. The only thing I ever found in people's homes were things to read, which is what I did. But I didn't take anything from anyone.
How could that great breach not have been caused by the mages?
It is reasonable to believe that magic was involved, but we cannot assume it was the rebels. How many powerful mages died at the Conclave Scalp Lane? How would those deaths benefit the rebels?
I'm not sure.
Good. Now you're thinking. That's a start.
What's your name, anyway?
Now lower your voice. Your report is not.
Colin, Cassandra. Well, let's first go talk to the Smiths.
If the Inquisition wants to field a decent cavalry, it needs better horses. I heard Seeker Pentecost might try to acquire some of the mounts from Master Dennett in the hinterlands.
Oh, and who are you to be fishing around for what's higher up to do?
Back in Annisburg, my uncle was 5th Praetor.
So, does that count as Codex? No, not yet.
Expected you'd be by. I'm Harriet, and everyone knows who you are. How's the new gear fit?
Quite well. Thank you very much.
Sturdy and warm. It's perfect.
Good. World's gone mad. Stock armor and blades are good against bandits, but we're not fighting bandits. My gear will see you through demons, apostates, whatever this world throws at you. So, you need custom work, something special. You bring the materials to us, we'll make it happen.
What is your story?
How did you come to be here?
Come from a little town called Lothring. Long gone now. I was in Redcliffe when the Darkspawn hit it during the Blight.
I
Eldritch
don't
built. Left
do I
when
remember
Morty
him?
decided it was time to hand the place over to the bloody mages. Then again, fair's fair. It was one of them that stopped the Blight and all. Ended up here. Just missed the boot. Can't decide if I'm the luckiest son of a bitch walking or the exact opposite.
Well, you're not that, my friend. So, one would consider that lucky.
You're still walking. That's always good.
True enough.
Do you outfit the troops?
Who outfits the Inquisition's soldiers?
Not me. I've got work to do. Can't be passing a sword to every blighter who signs up. If you want to help the troops, talk to Thren, the quartermaster. She'll set up requisitions.
Okay. Why do you need my materials?
Does the Inquisition not have supplies to make armor or weapons?
Tough convincing traders to haul up here. Impossible to get them to risk the rare stuff, so that's on you.
That's fair. What can you make here?
What can you and your team make here?
Arms and armor. We work iron to blighted dragonbone if you've got it. Our designs are simple, but they get the job done.
Oh no,
You want
I'm
something fancy? Bring
acting
your own
out
design.
what's on the screen. I'm reading out what's on the screen. Okay. Can you improve my equipment?
Can you help improve my arms and armor?
Yes. You find a new piece, a pauldron or greave, we take care of you. You can't just slap a new hilt on your sword in the field. Bring it here, we'll make sure it's done right and proper.
Okay. Do you have any designs?
If I want something, what can you make?
Start simple. Something to keep you safe. Take a look at it on the table there and we can talk. You'll
Alright.
need materials. We should have what you want just outside.
Alright. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Right.
Another study. That was not my intention. Whoops. Anyway. History. A study of the Fifth Blight. Volume 2. The Warden sought Arl Eamon, uncle of the late King Kalin, in the hopes of mustering troops from the Ferelden nobility. Upon arriving in Redcliffe, they learned that the Arl had fallen ill and was near death. His knights had gone in pursuit of the fabled ashes of Andraste. Eamon's only hope for a cure, and the village surrounding the keep was beset by a host of animated corpses. The wardens found and stopped the demon behind the undead before joining the search for Eamon's cure. No one is certain if wardens actually located the final resting place of Our Lady Andraste, but whatever they found saved the Earl of Redcliffe. Upon his recovery, Eamon Garin called for a landsmeet, and he and the wardens travelled to Denerim. The gathered lords and ladies of Ferelden found Ternogain guilty of a number of crimes and sentenced him to execution. Furthermore, the landsmeet granted the throne to Alistair Theron, the lost son of Merrick. The nobility then pledged their own armies in the battle against the Blight. The archdemon clashed with the allied forces at the city of Denerim and was eventually slain, but at a terrible cost. Much of the city lay in ruin. The warden who rallied the armies was named the Hero of Ferelden and accorded the highest honor. The fifth Blight ended before most of Thedas knew it had begun, but it left a terrible wound on Ferelden. The losses suffered at Ostagar and Denerim greatly compromised the security of the kingdom. Southern Ferelden, from the Korcari wilds to the edge of the Banon to this day a wasteland. It's uncertain how far the ripples of this event will travel, or what waves it has already stirred. From a study of the Fifth Blight by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. And with that, I am going to take a short break, and we will continue in 10 to 15 minutes. I will be back in a moment. And we are back. So without further ado, testing. Okay, yeah. So without further ado, let's continue. Okay. Oh, I can create something. Interesting.
Another time, then.
Buy, sell, petitions renewal. Oh, that's a good one. Modify armor. Okay.
Let me know.
Modify armor.
You need something? Let me know.
Craft weapons. Beyond aim. Oh. 4 metal, but I also need those metals for something else. So I might wait a moment. But now I at least know how to make them. So let's go talk to the others.
Blessed are the
iron.
righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood the Maker's will is written.
Oh.
Maker, hear my cry. Seat me by your side in death. Make me one within your glory, and let the world once more see your favor.
Well, that's Cassandra. You need stronger dummies.
I think you need practice dummies made of sturdier stuff.
That would be nice.
Like maybe iron.
Did I do the right thing? What I have set in motion here could destroy everything I have revered my whole life. One day they may write about me as a traitor, a madwoman, a fool, and they may be right.
What do you believe?
What does your faith tell you?
No.
I believe you are innocent. I believe more is going on here than we can see. And I believe no one else cares to do anything about it. They will stand in the fire and complain that it is hot. But is this the Maker's will? I can only guess.
She's not pliable enough for that. She's too stuck to her fate. You don't think I'm crazy?
You don't think I'm the Herald of Andraste?
I think you were sent to help us. I hope you were. But the Maker's help takes many forms. Sometimes it's difficult to discern who it truly benefits, or how.
What happens next?
What's going to happen now?
Now, We deal with the Chantry's panic over you before they do even more harm. Then we close the breach. We are the only ones who can. After that, we find out who is responsible for this chaos, and we end them. And if there are consequences to be paid for what I have done, I pay them. I only pray the price is not too high.
You had to do it.
You didn't have any choice.
Didn't I? My trainers always said, Cassandra, you are too brash. You must think before you act. I see what must be done, and I do it. I see no point in running around in circles like a dog chasing its tail. But I misjudged you in the beginning, did I not? I thought the answer was before me, clear as day. I cannot afford to be so careless again.
You had cause.
It wasn't like you had no reason to suspect me.
I was determined to have someone answer for what happened. Anyone.
Dark does get where she's coming from. He
You
was
said
suspicious.
you believe you're chosen. Does that mean you believe in the Maker?
Does Dark believe in the Maker? Holy crap, that's something I have never considered actually. Because I don't know if it ever came up in the previous one. Does Dark believe in the Maker? But before he tells the truth, I need to figure out what the truth is for Dark. Also, can I be honest? I don't remember ever him saying that he believes he was chosen. I think Dark being Dark would probably believe that the Maker exists, that there is a being, that is the Maker. He would probably believe that, because all of that has to come from somewhere. However, to someone like Dark, the Maker might simply be a very powerful spirit that spoke to another mage, namely Andraste. I think Dark's likely theory is probably something more along those lines, a very old, very ancient spirit. Hardy har har, teach. Hardy har har. So, Shady, you want to know what I'm worried about? I want to say yes, because strictly speaking, Dark would believe in the Maker in the sense that the Maker exists. He would believe that. But the problem is, if I say yes, he might, like, the thing is saying yes, but he might say, for example, yes, I have faith in the Maker. But he doesn't. I'm worried about how that yes is going to be worded when he replies. Yeah, and he would say, yes, I believe the Maker exists, something like that. And that would keep her to his side, and she is a valuable ally. And it's not a lie, technically. Let's see what he's gonna say.
I believe he exists.
Oh my god!
I'm surprised, but I suppose it's comforting. Surely the Maker put us both on this path for a reason. Now it simply remains to see where it leads us.
I can't believe that. I actually can't believe that that was the exact answer. Oh. I can't believe that. I can't believe that actually happened. I am happy. That is such a dark answer. Like, do you believe in the Maker? I believe he exists. Don't know if I have faith in him. I'm having a lot of fun. Oh, Shady. I don't know if you were here, but I witnessed something hilarious. When I was talking to Varric, I was talking with him about the book he wrote about Hawk. Because Dark would be interested in that. And I shit you not. Yeah, I figured. I'll upload it so you can watch it, but I could ask questions. And do you remember how when you asked me what I thought about the ending of Dragon Age 2, the first thing I said was the whole thing with Orsino didn't make sense to me? Well, I said it did make sense to me, but it kind of ruined his... I shit you not, when I talked to Varric, the first question I could ask was Orsino's part didn't make sense. Oh. This game has allowed me to make Dark, and I love it.
I don't actually know much about you.
What do you want to know?
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
Tell it.
No specific place. My mercenary band worked mostly in the free marches, however.
At least until you crossed the waking sea to reach the Conclave, I suppose. Tell me, do you consider the free marches your home? Are you eager to go back?
Home is wherever I am.
Wherever I am is home enough for me.
That's how I feel now, after years of tending to business for the Divine.
Tell me about yourself.
I'd like to get to know you better.
You would?
Is that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
Just be friendly.
No motivation beyond making things between us less...
Antagonistic?
Exactly.
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pentecost, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran throne. I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. And here we are. That's all there is to know, my lord.
Huh. You're Navarran royalty.
You're a member of Navarra's royal family.
The Pentaghasts are a very large clan. Half of Cumberland could say the same.
Really?
No, but it feels that way. I have hundreds of relatives so distant they need charts to prove we're related at all. And they have them. Oh yes. The Pentaghasts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
Dudes, I don't know where you're going with this. She is not his type. So I take it you're not on good terms.
So, not on very good terms with your family then?
I do not visit, if that's what you mean. The Pentaghasts are famed for dragon hunting.
Man, everyone must hurt their neck looking at dogs.
Most are
Jesus.
lazy. They pay lip service to the Maker and care only for idle pleasures and past glories. My brother was all that kept me in Navarra. Once he was gone, so was I.
What happened to your brother?
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
Then tell me about
You don't
Navarra.
seem to like your homeland.
My family polluted it for me. What little I saw of my homeland was through the bars of a gilded cage. My uncle treated me like a porcelain doll to be placed on a shelf and dusted only when necessary. Thus I did not see Navarra, the real Navarra, until much later. By then I realized I knew it not at all.
What about your parents?
Your uncle. What about your parents?
They had the misfortune of taking the wrong side in the second attempt to overthrow King Marcus. The king executed them, but spared my brother and I since we were family, and children at the time. Thus we were raised by my uncle, a mortalitasi who preferred the company of his corpses to the living.
Mortalitasi?
Your uncle was a mortalitasi?
A death mage. He still is. My countrymen do not burn the dead, they bury them in special crypts. The mortalitasi supervise the crypts, like priests. Uncle Vestalis oversees the grand necropolis. Navarrans spend more time honoring dead relatives than they do with living ones. It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings. I will never understand it.
You work for the Divine.
So you were the right hand to the Divine.
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
Okay. What is a right hand?
But what does a right hand do exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
You believed in her.
You thought she could really change things?
Justinia knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it.
How did you become the right hand?
So what's the story about you becoming the right hand?
Sweet Andraste, do you really want to hear that? It was, what, 18, 20 years ago? Some still discuss it like it happened yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
That's how stories work.
That's what happens with stories that become legends.
I am not a legend, nor was I then. I was a young woman barely out of training. To hear others tell it, I alone saved divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral. Rather impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say?
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart. And there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral, but I had help from loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They freed the dragons from magical control. Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
What became of the mages?
What happened to the mages that helped you?
They went back to their circles, with rewards and privileges and most holi's gratitude. Many of them died at the conclave.
It's still impressive.
An impressive tale. I can see why people enjoy telling it.
Just wait till they start telling stories about you.
That's all for now.
I'll let you get back to work.
I have a bunch of codexes to read now. Here we go. First of all, where's the... here. Navarra. The fourth time I attempted to cross the border into Navarra from Orlais and was turned back by Chevalier, I decided to take the more roundabout path, a ship back to Ferelden and then another to Navarra. The outcome was more than worth the trouble. The whole country is filled with artistry, from the statues of heroes that litter the streets and even the meanest villages, to the glittering golden college of the Magi in Cumberland. Perhaps nowhere is more astonishing than the vast necropolis outside Navarra city. Unlike most other followers of Andraste, the Navarrans do not burn their dead. Instead, they carefully preserve their bodies and seal them in elaborate tombs. Some of the wealthiest Navarrans begin construction of their own tombs while quite young, and these become incredible palaces, complete with gardens, bathhouses, and ballrooms, utterly silent, kept only for the dead. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Jenny TV. The Pentaghasts. Allow me to correct you on one important point, my friend. The Pentaghasts are Navarra. Without us, this nation would either still be one of the motley city-states that comprises the Free Marches, or under Elysian control. More likely the latter, as only Navarra's strength holds back the Empire's expansion, and by that I refer to the brilliance of Pentaghast generals and the influence of the Pentaghast coin. I find it interesting that you mentioned dragon hunting as our only significant trade. You do understand, I hope, that dragons disappeared centuries ago, only recently returning at the beginning of this age. Some of our clan have taken up the old trade out of nostalgia, my cousin Ferdinand the most prominent among them, but those days are largely done. Today there are 14 branches of the family, 18 if one counts our relations among the Van Markhams, each consisting of multiple families and twisting bloodlines connecting us to almost every major house in Terrace. I am fully aware that King Marcus wanes in health, and neither he nor Ferdinand have children, but make no mistake, there will be another Pentaghast sitting on the Navarran throne, and that man or woman will lead us into a prosperous future. There will be no civil war. From a letter by Baroness Alia Pentaghast, Dragon 938. There's another one that I haven't read. What have I missed? Oh, that one. The Seekers of Truth. The Seekers of Truth aren't Templars. Not precisely. Once they were called the Inquisition. Upon the signing of the Navarran Accord, they gave up that name and became the order they are now, standing over as Templars, as watchers and enforcers. I honestly cannot claim to know more than that. I don't know how many Seekers there are. A few dozen? If they have a base of operations, I don't know where it is. Certainly not with any of us. The only time we'll see one is when a Seeker is summoned, perhaps in response to a complaint by one of the first enchanters. They'll investigate the problem. And if it turns out a Templar did something they don't like, he's disciplined. Severely. Without question, even the Knight Commander bows to their will. If a Seeker of Truth shows up, you know every last Templar is sweating, hoping their gaze doesn't fall on him. Of course, that changed when the Navarran Accord was broken. I'm told the Chantry broke it, but it was Lord Seeker Lambert who made the announcement. He said the Seekers of Truth and the Templar Order were going to hunt rebel mages, no matter what the Divine commanded. I didn't know he had that authority, that he could just say that we would do this and everyone would follow, but we did. I never thought of it that way, but the Seekers have always been our guides. Now they've led us into war. Okay. Apparently I can't pass by stepping over a little box. Let's have a word with Colin, see what he has to say.
See reason, listen. We cannot stay here.
Why not?
Because we're Templars.
What does that even mean anymore? That we splinter and fight amongst ourselves instead of protecting the mages?
Better that than stay here with this Inquisition.
You're awfully quick to dismiss the people who saved your life.
That isn't in a house, that's out in the open.
You there. There's a shield in your hand. Block with it. If this man were your enemy, you'd be dead. Lieutenant, don't hold back. The recruits must prepare for a real fight, not a practice one.
Yes, Commander.
We've received a number of recruits. Locals from Haven and some pilgrims. None made quite the entrance you did.
It wasn't my choice.
That wasn't my idea.
I'd be concerned if it was. I was recruited to the Inquisition in Kirkwall myself. I was there during the Mage Uprising. I saw firsthand the devastation it caused.
Sir.
Cassandra sought a solution. When she offered me a position, I left the Templars to join her cause. Now it seems we face something far worse.
I believe the Mark will help. It has already helped us, so it isn't a stated fact that whatever the Mark is that he's carrying, it is what is going to solve this mess. But everything is a mess. I believe the Mark will help.
I must have this Mark for a reason. It will work, I'm sure of it.
Provided we can secure aid, but I'm confident we can. The Chantry lost control of both Templars and Mages. Now they argue over a new Divine while the breach remains. The Inquisition could act when the Chantry cannot. Our followers would be part of that. There's so much we can... Forgive me. I doubt you came here for a lecture.
I didn't know.
You understand our situation. I appreciate your opinion.
That is also
Look
a dark
around.
answer.
Our people are well organized and committed. Despite what the clerics think, we are in the best position to help. There's still a lot of work ahead.
Commander, Sir Ryden has a report on our supply lines.
As I was saying.
So, what else do you have to say?
Was there something you needed?
Tell me about Templar life. So it's also hilarious because Dark does remember Colin. Colin doesn't know Dark in this version, which is funny.
I'd like to know more about the Templars.
If you need insight into what the Order is doing now, I'm afraid I can't offer more than you already know. Anything else, I will answer as best I can.
What did you do? Why did you become a Templar?
Why did you join the Order?
I could think of no better calling than to protect those in need. I used to beg the Templars as our local chantry to teach me. At first, they merely humored me. I must have shown promise, or at least a willingness to learn. The Knight Captain spoke to my parents on my behalf. They agreed to send me for training. I was 13 when I left home.
That's not very old.
13. That's still so young.
I wasn't the youngest there. Some children are promised to the Order at infancy. Still, I didn't take on full responsibilities until I was 18. The Order sees you trained and educated first.
What about your family?
What about your family? Did you miss them?
Of course. But there were many my age who felt the same. We learned to look out for one another.
My Santa's bugging out a little. What do Templars do exactly?
Do Templars do anything besides hunt mages?
Templars protect against the dangers of magic. Before the Order left the Chantry, that meant serving in a circle. They were also tasked with tracking apostates, or fighting demons inevitably summoned by the weak or malicious.
What do you think of mages?
What do you think of mages? Are they all a threat?
I've seen the suffering magic can inflict. I've treated mages with distrust because of it, at times without cause. That was unworthy of me. I will try not to do so again. Not that I want mages moving through our base completely unchecked. We need safeguards in place to protect people, including mages, from possession, at least.
Can I say that he has gone through an impressive amount of character development? I'm actually impressed with Colin right now. Props to the dude, he's learned a lot through his life in tennis. You've lived in the circle.
You've lived in the circle. What was a typical day for a Templar there?
Typical. The last time I was in a circle was right before it fell apart. Nothing was typical.
Before that, then?
Certain rituals require a full guard. A mage's howling, for instance. I've attended a few. Most of the time, you merely maintain a presence, on patrol or in the circle, ready to respond if needed. Mages pretend to ignore that presence, but they're watching you just as closely.
Do you not speak to the mages?
Do Templars and mages never speak to each other?
Some do, but Templars are supposed to maintain a certain distance from their charges. If a mage is possessed or uses blood magic, you must act quickly, without hesitation. Your judgment cannot be clouded. Of course, ignoring one another does nothing to foster understanding.
That is true. That is very true. How are Templars trained?
What does Templar training involve?
There is weapon and combat training. Even without their abilities, Templars are among the best warriors in Thedas. Initiates must also memorize portions of the Chant of Light, study history, and improve their mental focus.
Did you enjoy it?
Did you enjoy your training?
To learn everything. If I was giving my life to this, I would be the best Templar I could.
You were a model student.
I wanted to be. I wasn't always successful. Watching a candle burn down while reciting the Chant of Transfigurations wasn't the most exciting task. I admit, my mind sometimes wandered.
So tell me about their vows.
Do Templars take vows? I swear to the Maker to watch all the mages. That sort of thing?
There's a vigil first. You're meant to be at peace during that time, but your life is about to change. When it's over, you'll give yourself to a life of service. That's when you're given the filter, your first draft of lyrium and its power. As Templars, We are not to seek wealth or acknowledgement. Our lives belong to the Maker and the path we have chosen.
Oh, interesting. That was all. Yeah, actually, exactly like you said, I am thoroughly impressed with Colin, and as a character, I thoroughly like him now. It is amazing how much growth he showed in what is a little amount of time if you think about it, and it is well written. I love Colin. I love him more than I thought I would, and I'm impressed with it. It is very well written. Props to the developers. Hardy har, dudes.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Should you require anything, I'll be here.
Okay, so I do need to see that. That's later. That's later. We have some armor made. Modify armor. Find the Tigan's notes. And I need to find the login stand. So let's start by finding the notes. Oh, so that is around here. What is that? I see. What is this? World map. Okay, well, let's start by looking for the notes.
There must be something here.
More elf fruit. Don't mind if I do. Oh. More elf fruit. Elf fruit? What am I missing? It's in that direction, but they're not lighting up. Oh, now they are. I had to stand in that corner to activate it? Really? Okay, so I got those papers. Now I need to get that logging stand. Which is further up ahead. Oh, wait, no. It's the other way. It's that way. A lot of stuff around here. It's mostly elf fruit though, and iron. Let me grab that iron. A little ways back there was something else. More elf fruit. More elf fruit. More elf fruit. I'm gonna have a lot of elf fruit to make potions with. More elf fruit. Oh. More elf fruit. And I think that's a logging site. For the Inquisition, I guess. And all the rest I think is creating something. Have armor made, modify armor, return the notes, fulfill the requisition. That was weird. Anyway, time to head back and do these two missions first. What's it? Okay. Not quite sure why Maneva is marked, but I guess. No. Wrong button. Oh, it's that way. Oh, and more iron, I guess. And wrong button again. 2 iron. 3 iron. Oh. I hadn't talked to her yet.
You're the one they're calling the Herald.
Yes, I am. Can I
It rather
help you?
rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Your people have stood against everything the Chantry believes for years. I did not join the Order to adjust my faith so easily, but I appreciate what the Inquisition is trying to do, and your role in it. Though you may find not many Templars do. We're a distrustful lot by nature.
I'm kinda racist. So you're saying because the Kunari are so that I am automatically like that as well? I understand that it is easier to think like that, but that also makes you incredibly narrow-minded, does it not? Investigate. Oh. Tell me about the Templars.
I'd like your take on the Templar Order.
It's a shadow of what it was. Where once we both protected all people from the dangers of magic, we now posture and grab at power. One day, I hope the circles are again sanctuaries where mages can practice their craft.
Interesting. I don't know who she is, Shady. Or do you mean she thinks that of herself? You're staying in here?
You're not going to rejoin the Order?
When the temple went up, your forces rescued those few of us still alive. My life is a debt I intend to repay, however I can.
Okay. What happened at the
Do
conclave?
you have any idea what caused the explosion?
No, I'm just a recruit. Belief and faith doesn't get you closer to the important meetings.
Oh,
Though
I guess.
that distance did save my life.
Would you like?
How did you come to be a Templar?
It seemed the right thing to do. My family are tradesfolk in Denerim. I could have become a cobbler like my father, but this seemed better. It's a chance to uphold the Chantry's laws and help the mages through a troubled time.
At least she kinda seems alright.
I'm surprised to hear that.
Not all Templars want to make mages into prisoners or villains. Some of us just want to keep a balance and let you practice your craft in safety. One person trying to do something can make a difference. You should keep that in mind, Harold.
I'll keep it in mind.
I will talk to you later.
Walk in the Maker's grace.
I wonder if she's a recruitable character, because she seems interesting.
Yes.
I will talk to you later.
Walk in the Maker's grace.
Come on, you've seen our mounts. Most of them should be pulling plows.
Didn't all grow up with fancy noble horses, Rosenberg. You're right. Why are you here with the scouts instead of fobbing around?
Wait, what is my mission? Have armor made? Modify armor, okay. Armor is over here. So I guess I can make this. Oh, crafting is interesting. Okay. It was about what material you place into it can change the outcome of what you produce. Something along those lines. Lightning! Let's see, what do I have here? Did I? I don't know, I was just trying to skip that step. Static charge. Gathering storm. Ooh, that's a good one. I'll check it out in a moment. An upgrade to my gathering storm. I think I just named it this. Scout armor. No, I named it this. I don't know why that's the name. I don't know. That's just... it said, did you want to name it? No. So that's the name it gave. No, it's nothing in Dutch either. I really don't know why that's the name it shows. It's fucking weird. Got it. Then let me finish the other two. Also, I don't think Skibidi has a translation in any language.
You're back. And in one piece.
You said you thought Master Tejan was working on something special. If it helps, I found his notes.
The old codger was on the edge of a breakthrough here, but he couldn't see it. You want some of these mixed up? You just give the word.
Lyrian potion recipe. Goodbye.
Farewell.
To be fair, Dark trains. He doesn't train as much as someone, let's say, like Flame does, because his strength is not in physical combat or swordplay, or physical prowess in any way, shape, or form. But he does enough exercise and practice to maintain a healthy physique that allows him to do a lot of, to give him a lot of endurance, to keep going, basically.
Do you think the mages will be able to seal the breach?
I heard some speak of using the Templars instead.
Oh. I suppose that would work as well.
Can I help you with something?
Oh.
Farewell.
Make a go with you.
Also, can you believe that woman still believes that Terran Loghain did nothing wrong, and that we were the one to betray him, and that his retreat was the only reason Ferelden survived, because otherwise they all would have been dead, according to her? And she said that in Dark's face. Anyway. Dark would find that amusing.
That'll help.
Influence. Probably. Lost souls, vigilance on the coast. So, before I push forward, let's go take a look at the war room.
And helping old men through the winter cold. Seeing these injuries, I was with...
A learned child is a blessing upon his parents and onto the Maker.
To be fair though, Dennis, isn't that the name of the... Is that the name of the planet? Or the name of like the greater region?
All things in this world.
Oh. I've got a runny nose. Oh, Dennis is the road, okay. Let's have a look. Commander Cullen. The Terran of Hive. Your honor guard was a welcome sight at the Divine's vigil. As a measure of thanks, I am sending Ferelden arms and equipment for your troops. Sincerely, Terran Fergus Cousland. Okay, that went well. Our efforts bore fruit. A portion of the profits will be passed to you. Use it wisely, Harold. So, before I send out again, let me look if there's anything else to do. Nope, let me look at perks. I am going to have to read all of these at some point to know which ones I'm gonna... Oh no, Teats! Be careful! Dark has connection to Brisea's brother. Brisea might end up in Dark's clutches again. To be fair, Dark actually took care of Brisea, unlike so many other people. So for the moment, I can send out more coin. Oh, I'll tell him once I join chat after stream. Liliana, Colin. Why not? Why don't you go, Colin, this time? Or you send your troops. Okay, where is my armor? Did you switch my armor again? Ah, no, you didn't. Okay. Ferelden Captain's Longsword. Can I just say that he actually looks really imposing? Yes I did. The one who did the research, right? What's her name? Minerva? Yes, I did talk to her. I don't know if I have anything for her. I might as well double check. By the way, just imagine him a bit shorter and less stocky, and it would pretty much be Dark. And I'm actually surprised how accurate they have managed to get his personality. Just the fact that he went, I believe he exists, I can't believe that happened.
Researcher Minave has notes on alloys that may prove more effective against demons.
Thank you.
Hello? Can I help you with something?
I am having fun. I have a lot to learn, and I don't want to mess this up because this is so grand, but I am having fun.
If you find anything, please bring it in.
Well, I don't have anything yet. Yes.
With passionate breath does the darkness creep. It is the whisper
Yep.
in the night, the lie.
That's basically what she asked me to do.
Speak only the word, sing only the chant. Then the golden city.
So, I guess the question is now, where do we go from here? I guess I have to start by choosing what mission I'm gonna do. There's nothing at the war table, so I'm thinking of starting with Varric's request. Unless there are other areas around the map that I need to look. I guess I could check out this map before I leave, see if there's anything else around here. So I'm probably going to start with doing Varric's quest, because Varric's quest is crushing Red Lyrian, which, considering the properties, is something that I can get behind. And I know what you might be thinking. Because I know what you might be thinking. You'd be like, but wouldn't Dark use that? Which I understand, because Dark is very Machiavellian. He's somebody who will take every opportunity to get the best tools at his disposal to get the job done in the most efficient way by making sure that his tools are as sharp as possible. The problem is, with Red Lyrian, that while it can make tools powerful, it also makes them unstable, difficult to control and hard to handle. And at some point that requisite... No. Yes, actually, yes, he does know. Varric told him. So at some point he will... The boundaries between the power you get, but the difficulty you become to handle, becomes too much to be worth the input. So Red Lyrian is not worth it to him.
Master Dennett's horses in the hinterlands are faster and stronger than anything we've got here. A good horse can make all the difference. The mare I grew up with saved her life. She died. Feels silly.
Oh, there's something behind me. Oh, up there. But yes, he does know what happened to Meredith. And broad strokes? They're cute. But resources. Oh, he did actually read the book. He told it, he said that to Varric. He did read the book he wrote. To craft new armor or weapons. Yeah, so that's the tutorial one. Is there another one? Oh yeah, here. I was sure before the Blight they were a whole lot more rare. Should ask a warden about that. If killing Archdemon leaves nugs all over. And the poor things don't seem built for anywhere. I mean, they feed on anything, but they blister in the desert and freeze in the snow. And they're easier to track than your own arse. Everything eats them. Except me. The hens put me off. Yet they thrive. The randy bastards outpaced every tooth and claw. Anyway, my point is, the ones around the farm are so inbred, they're 5 colors and can't stop peeing. I'm selling them in the capital as elusive Eastern bunny pigs. What did Father say about the idiots with deep pockets? Excerpt from the private letter of Captain Byrne, Lepnug dealer, produced in evidence after 7 claims of water terrors and death following bites in the Garden District. Also, the reason that I'm delaying time is because I did say I was going to take it easy, so I want to wait until Friday to actually move to another area. So for now, I'm just going to take it easy and explore the surrounding area. Okay. Ivan. Ivan. Take all. So let's first look what's on the other side of here. Oh, what is this? The Penitent's Crossing. Pilgrims seeking to visit the Temple of Sacred Ashes are allowed to ride as far as the bridge known as Penitent's Crossing. Then, whether they be sick or healthy, young or aged, the pilgrims are expected to walk by the temple sisters who supervise the bridge. All but the very sick and old are asked to shed heavy coats as they cross the bridge, allowing the cutting ones to strip prideful fixation upon this world from the flesh. The bridge is also of significant military value, used especially for these purposes in the years since the Fifth Blight, as a choke point against bandits, rebels, and even darkspawn stragglers. The bridge serves as a defensible fortification to protect the Temple of Sacred Ashes from threats. From Walking the Chant by Sister Dorcas. Ooh, that doesn't seem bad. Oh, I can't actually cross this. Interesting. Ooh, loot. No. Okay. I guess that works because I need to be here apparently. Oh, it's up there. Okay. Codex, creatures, RAM. They have beautiful art in this game as well. The ram is a marvelous creature. Its wool make the best linen lining for winter coats this side of the mountain. The horns and bones can be crushed into powders and mixed with the soil for a healthy crop, or charred and ground into ink powders. The hide makes a good cover in the window against the winds. You can burn the dung in a pinch, melt down its fat for candles. I haven't even mentioned the meat. With a full-grown ram, you could make a stew big enough for the village and have enough left over for a week. So there'll be no more complaining about being paid in sheep for your work during the harvest. With that ram and a few ewes, you can start your own flock. You're lucky to have them handed to you instead of needing to go and tame a wild one. Listen to your father for once. Take care of those animals, and they'll take care of you. Letter from a Ferelden farmer to his son. Oh, it's up there. That's how I probably get up there. That's probably how I don't get up there. Nope, invisible wall. Oh, here we go. Okay, no shortcuts here, I guess. So while I am here, I do want to make something.
I'm glad, Biggs.
Oh. Whoops. Now it has it on. Okay.
Now, don't you worry about that sort of thing, girl. You need something? Let me...
Bianca aiming. +4 stagger on hit, +4 attack, +4 stagger, +4 stagger on hit, +4 stagger on hit. Do some more attack. Craft item. TPF sites. No. Bianca sites. Accept. No, Teats, I'm not gonna do that. Okay. Sturdy Bianca grip. Strength, strength, strength. That's all the same. So, do that. What is it with these names? Bianca grip. Okay, like dexterity, cunning. Let's put it into cunning. Raw fighting. Bianca. Upgrade, I forgot which upgrade it is. Okay. Bianca arms. So out of curiosity, if I do this, $20 electric damage, 6 willpower, 6 magic. $32 DPS. Yes. So, how much DPS do I have on my current weapon? I have more on my current weapon. I am looking forward to crafting my own stuff in the future. Okay. Aiming, Bianca sights, grip, Bianca grip, arms, Bianca upgrade. That is already a decent upgrade. Can I upgrade my weapon? No, because I don't have a rune yet. I don't know what weapon she has. Solas also has a staff. But
another time, then.
Come to me, child, and I shall embrace you. In my arms lies it.
oh, yeah. I should probably check out that store as well, but I'm also gonna do that next time. I'm just gonna explore the map a little more, get us some more resources. I've set up so that I'm ready to move out us get ready to move out starting Friday. Getting a good amount of resources to start with. So that one probably goes to the world map. Yep. And then to finish up, I am going to the war room once more to do one more money mission. If enough time already passed, I don't know if enough will have or not. And then I'm ready. When I am ready to move out Friday. No, sorry, Wednesday. So, yes, Wednesday. Sorry. I forgot what day we were. Been having too much fun in this game.
Make a watch over you too.
Speak only the word. Sing only the chant. There was no then word the golden for city heaven or is for thine. earth or sea or sky. All that existed was silence. Then the voice of the Maker rang.
Oh no, it's half an hour left. I only have one power.
Has Cassandra spoken to you about my new recruits?
They are not your recruits, Commander. They're ours.
I wonder why that is still up. Anyway, that is completed, so I will need to get there from the world map, probably. I can fast travel, I saw, but that's not for me. So, with this, I am pretty much ready to move out on Wednesday. It's a bit of a shorter stream, since I've barely just hit the 4-hour mark. But I took the time today to learn the game and see what was expected of me, and I think I'm ready to dive in. That's going to be interesting, but I am going to try and be as concise in the sense that I'm gonna try and approach this like Dark would approach this, because this is technically something Dark would excel in, and I want to see if I can pull it off as well. So I'm going to save one more time. But I'm having a blast, and I'm really excited to dive more into this game, and I'm even excited to hear that the next game has a trailer, which means it will also be released soon-ish. So, looking forward to that. So before we leave off, let me see if there is any additional content. Oh, there actually is. Interesting. So, let's give a listen to what. So, Teats clipped this, say calling it a headstrong philosophy. Let's have a look, shall we? Not Dark doesn't move for anything. Everything moves for Dark. You know the worst part, Teats? I knew you were going to clip this. That's a good one. I'll give you that. That's a really good one. Well done, Teats. Anyway, this is a good point to call it up. Let me just take a moment to rate someone. No one that I know is online, so let's just leave it at that for now. I wish you all a pleasant evening. Stay safe out there, Wastelanders. It's a dangerous world out there.